And good morning. This is Gate Talk with B. I'm B, of course. I miss you guys. How are you guys doing out there? Today is Saturday, May 22nd. We are already at the end of the week. It feels like, I just had this midweek challenge conversation with you guys Wednesday, and I'm struggling to keep up because it's already Saturday, and I normally don't do shows on Saturdays. Normally Fridays are my days that I, do my shows for you guys to keep you guys encouraged through the weekend until Sunday. So I guess you guys are going to get a double whammy, back to back. And I think that's awesome. Sometimes the word and sometimes the message and, the reason I'm here is it's for a reason. So sometimes someone needs to hear it today. I need to hear it today, and it just goes over. So we have no rules to this. We're going off the soul energy of the universe. We're going off the God's message, His promise. That's what we're doing. So that's what we're going to start off with. I hope you guys have had a great week. I know last time we spoke on mid-week challenges, and, it was an interesting topic because actually right after that topic, I was faced with a distraction myself. I was faced with, someone who personally attacked my podcast. He came and he personally attacked it. Like I don't know this individual at all. I never seen him a day in my life. He befriended me on Facebook in one of those groups. And he reached out to me and he's like, "Hey, I see you have a podcast, it looks, I'm great that you're doing that. We need this in the world. We need this in here. I have a podcast, support me. I'll support you." And, me being so, ready to, put that energy out there, get that positive, that positive karma, whatever I'm doing in the world, hoping it come back to me. So I'm supporting this individual, I'm allowing this person to be into my world. Like I say, there's nothing personal, but it was more of a support in business. And the fact that he's an older gentleman that proclaims he was a preacher or that he knew the word of God, and that's the thing that we have to understand, that we can't let seemingly positive people or seemingly know-it-all people to distract us from what we are, as if they're a big fish in the world and we were a small fish. And that's how I kind of looked at him. I said, okay, well, he has all these views and all these downloads, and, that he reached out to me. He's interested into my topics. And it was all a distraction this whole time, because as soon as I clicked on this gentleman's live video, that same day I made midweek challenges, he was talking about my podcast, and I didn't seemingly understand it at first. I was like, wow, okay, energy is not real. Okay. We're believing in false things, and we're putting ourselves first and not God. I'm thinking, okay, well, he can't be talking about me. I'm supporting him, so I can continue to support. But something in my heart and something in my mind right then and there recognized the corruption in this person. Right then and there recognized that this person is not aligning with me or my true purpose. I don't care what, he's putting on it, whether he has 10 Bibles hanging in the back of his life or whether he has a cross on his neck, throat, and ankle. He is still not the one that is representing the true meaning of your podcast or the true meaning of God in general. And here I am as a little fish into this, looking into that. And that's what we have to make sure that we're doing. And that's why I say, you guys, stay on it. Stay on your true purpose. Stay on the alignment of yourself. Stay on who you really are, because you're going to have those people that come as if they're supporters. But if you don't align, you're never going to recognize it. And before you know it, it's 10 years later, and this person is dragging that energy out of you, but you're thinking you're getting it from them, but they're deterring you from who you really are in a way that they're thinking they're teaching you. No, don't teach me none of your corruption. Don't teach me your way, because I can only speak on my way. I can only speak on what God gives me every morning. That's real. So something told me to block this individual as I was watching his live, but I didn't. And that's what we have to stop doing. That first mind, that first intuition about a person, go with it. Don't second guess it and put that on us. And that's what makes me know that I am walking in the godly light, because I can never see the wrong in someone. I try to look at people through the eyes of God, and that's what I cannot do, because I'm still a human and my feelings and my emotions are totally different. And I'm not God, and I can't make that judgment on someone. So that's why I have to take a step back and allow God to work into my life so he can eliminate that for me, because there's some things in demonic forces and spirit world that we cannot tap into as a human race. That's not for us. That's that unknown world that God is not allowing us to get to because it's not for us. He's only allowing us to do what we are supposed to do, and he handles the rest. So that's what he did. He brought the situation to me. He let me know that this person is the person that you have to get off your timeline. You have to get this person out of your whole being, because this person is going to bring turmoil. And I didn't believe it. And I allowed this person to stay on there. And then the next day I made a post about, karma, about energy. Whatever you put in the world, you're going to get back. And this person told me, and he tried to get the Bible and roll it up and beat it on top of my head, that was wrong. And I know that wasn't wrong. And my heart and my mind and everything that I speak on this podcast and everything that I lived through, from my pain and purpose and everything and trials and tribulations that I have been through. No, you ain't going to tell me that's wrong. You got the wrong sister. And that's why I say, you guys be mindful and be researchful into whatever purpose and journey you're walking on, because you're going to get people that make you second guess your journey. And if you're not strong enough into the power of the will of you, or the power of the will of the promise of God, then you will fall short under those people that try to suppress the ones that they see have greatness coming. They'll try. I don't care what how many suits you have. Like I said, I don't care how many Bibles you have hanging. I don't care how many times you walk and read and you sleep and you eat the Bible. You're not going to beat it over my head as if that is the right way, because the only perception you're getting it is the perception that you perceive. And how do I know the perception that you're getting is the same one that I'm supposed to be aligning with? No, I can only read what God tells me to read. And I get the perception that I get based off my journey, based off my purpose. And that's what I'm sticking to. And that's why I say you guys stick to it and believe in whatever you believe in. Fight for whatever you want to fight for. Because in the end, who's right? We don't know. The only one that knows is God. And if you feel it in your mind and your heart and your spirit that you're moving in a good light and good karma is coming to you, you are putting good karma out there. Don't let anyone tell you that the universe and energies and these things are wrong and they're not. Yes, of course, we're not supposed to believe in certain spiritual worlds. Of course, we're not supposed to believe in certain horoscopes and all those things. I get that. But there's no way you're not going to tell me that God isn't going to flow through an energy to tell me that you or this person is not for me. It works. It happens. Because if I didn't believe it, it'd be so many distractions that have kept me from this podcast that I had to eliminate to get to this point. So don't allow anybody to get you that. And that kind of made me question who I was and upset me a little. But then I had to understand that this journey is going to come with 10,000 of him. It's going to be more of him. And they're going to come. But what I have to do is continue to research, continue to stay in my prayer and my purpose, continue to meditate on who I am. That way it continues to uplift me. And here I am Saturday with my show again, and it doesn't stop anything. Because maybe my message isn't for you. And that's what I want him to understand. First of all, you're comparing our podcasts and you have a religious podcast. I don't. I talk about walking in purpose. I talk about God, and I talk about the things that made me who I am. But this is not solely on me beating the Bible or beating who's right and wrong in this world about religion. Because if you leave it to me, we're all searching after the same thing. We're all going for the same thing, greatness in our life. And whatever way we channel that greatness, whether we channel it through energy, God, whatever he gives it to us in that message, we have to receive it. Everybody doesn't receive the message as if you're reading the Bible from front and back. Everybody doesn't get it that way. Some people have to go through the trials and tribulation of life to lead them to the Bible, to a certain verse, to a certain message. Some people have to go through a turmoil for them to read a certain passage. Some people have to go and find that energy within themselves, that fire that's burning them. They have to seek after it, and then they grasp their hands around it. So whatever way you receive your message from God on your purpose, grasp to it, because that's your understanding of it. And that's the way that God's going to continue to channel it to you, because he knows that that's your understanding. He knows you're getting it. Continue to meditate. And as you meditate, meditation is all over. Meditation isn't just sitting there believing in something going to drop into my lap. No, meditation is me reading my word, reading my purpose, understanding my purpose, aligning my purpose. And now I'm applying it over and over and over. And I'm receiving those messages and those channels that God has wanted me to receive, because I'm quiet during this time. And sometimes he allows me to meditate on old thoughts to get me into who I am now. Sometimes he sends me to a passage and a scripture that I have to read during that meditation. Or sometimes it's just me and him in a world of nothing, just still. So don't allow anybody to tell you meditation, energies, all those things are no. However way you can receive your message, you receive it and you hold on to it and you grasp it. And that's what I want you guys to understand. Block the negative. Block the negative out of your life. My negative was a Facebooker. But your negative could be a family member, a friend, an employee, whatever it is that's taking you from your purpose, that's down, putting your purpose down here and them up there. And that was the first thing he did to me in my eyes that was wrong. Because there's no way that a man of God, an older man of God that says he reads the Bible for breakfast, dinner, and lunch, that he would roll it up and beat me on it instead of teach me. No, that's where you went wrong. Because the day you told me that my podcast is trash and that I'm going to die of corruption, that's the day that you judge me, and that's the day that God will judge you. And that's what I have to wipe my hands with and understand that you're not even the sole person you want to be. You're chasing after a false spirit that you're not even that. You want to be that person. You want to be me. You want to get that message clear, like I get the message clear. You want the audience to receive you the way they receive me. And I have to understand that you're no more than a person that's, intimidated by me. So of course you're going to suppress this. And that's what you have to understand, that some people are intimidated by you. And you didn't even make it yet. You haven't even walked in your full purpose. But I tell you guys, this is a wonderful journey we're on. And that's why I say when you start getting that kind of feedback, whether it's negative or positive, you know that you are making an impact onto your life. People are seeing the change within you. Sometimes it takes that. And that's why I'm so good to push people and tell people. And that's why I started this podcast. Don't stop. Because now we're entering these shaky waters. Now this is the real reason of this podcast. Now we're able to go into channels. We're able to do what we have to do. And this podcast is number 20. This is my episode 20. And I had no intentions on doing episode 20 with the same content that I have been going up until 20, with the purpose and the learning and the things to value yourself. Because right now I felt like we were all on the same page. That we were untouchable, that we were unbreakable, that we had built a shield over the distractions and the devils and the demonic spirits, that we can walk in our purpose. But I see that we're going to keep going on that. So I know the content is going to change as the show launched June 7th. I'll be doing more interview styles. I'll be doing more topics on the Black community, more, male audience, stepping into it, letting me know their viewpoints on certain things they deal with, more women entrepreneurs. I want to step into those waters, and I want you guys to hold on, because those contents and those topics are coming. But I have to prepare your mind for it, because if I don't prepare the audience that I have now for what I want the message for them to receive when I start those topics, this podcast is going to go all over the place. And I told you that's what I don't want. I want grounded in an ungrounded situation. So when I come up against turmoil, it's us coming against it, because you guys are my listeners. You guys believe in this as well as I believe. So when we have someone that's coming against our foundation, our platform to get us all successful and become the person that we want, we have to stop, address the attack, and keep moving. So that's what this podcast is today. It's just to stop, address, and keep moving. And that's why I had to say that number 20 was a big number for me. I asked you guys to meditate 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I asked you guys to, put $20 up for your purpose. And all those numbers, 20. And it's not that I'm believing in numbers. It's just when I received the message, 20 is my number. I have been playing the number 20, for, when it comes to verses and different, how much it's been a number for me. So when I heard, okay, you're on 20 before you know I'm on episode 20 by myself. Okay, now it's time. But that number 20 was bringing a new shift into my podcast. And before I get that shift in that podcast, I had to address what was coming at me that I didn't even know was in my box. So that's all it did. That's why we're here. We eliminated and we're moving forward. And that's what you have to do, because only you know what your journey consists of. And that's why sometimes it's going to take for you to stop, understand it, and reflect on it. That's that alignment. That's that alignment that I keep telling you guys to keep going for. Align your bodies, your mind, and your spirit so you understand the ones that is blocking you from receiving this message. Because this what he's doing. He's dissecting what I'm saying as if I'm reading from a Bible, as if I'm preaching on here. But that's his That's his interception of what I'm saying. Because it's what you want me to do. You hear it. I can preach without preaching. I can speak without beating someone over the head with the Bible. It's just my sole purpose of my journey and my story. And how dare you dissect my story? This is what I've been through. This is what I lived. This is my outlet. This is